Love. Me too. It's an opportunity. That's great. Okay, well, it's a great opportunity. I like that. Deb. What goes wrong when we're in the bunkers? Everything. Okay, how about this? What would be our dream in the bunkers? What happens every time? If we could make it happen every time. Pops up, goes on the green. That's it, right?
Yeah.
We got to figure out, we're not worried about how to get close to the hole yet. I want you guys to first start with always in the air, always out of the bunker, right? We're going to call that our stock bunker shot, okay? I just need it to go 6-7 yards. That's it, right? And if we had farther to go, fine, but that's out. That's always out. 6-7 yards is always out, okay? So we need to control two variables really well to do this, okay? First one is how much sand we take, okay? Are we familiar with that? We want to actually hit the sand, and the sand takes the ball out. Did you guys know that? Oh yeah, sorry, the wind's blowing a little bit. It might dust you guys. Yeah, maybe go this way. So here's why I'm going to hit this shot. I want you guys to, I'm going to rescue this glass before we fill it with beach sand. So take a listen to this golf shot, okay? Tell me what you guys hear. Besides a rock. My point was that you hear sand, right? It actually sounded like this, right?
Yeah.
So we're not really hitting the ball, okay? So we're hitting sand. Why is that difficult for us?
Because the game's about hitting the ball.
We're chunking it. We're hitting behind the ball. What did we just go over? How to not do this, right? Chipping, right? So understand that this is weird. We're trying to we just talked about how we get the club to travel through the golf ball, right? Skimming the grass, touching the grass. Now we're trying to go under the golf ball. Only shot in golf we're going to do this for. Does that make sense? So that's counterintuitive. We got to get that in your mind first. We want to chunk this out. We want to strike the sand in a way that the sand takes the ball out. One of our big mistakes that I see is, okay, I got that. Okay, great. And then it looks like, maybe it looks something like this. Okay, that got out, but it didn't go as far as the other one, didn't get on the green. Why is that? Too much sand. So, depth, okay? So we want to hit the right amount of sand, okay? We want it to look like a footprint, right? But I want it to be about a ½ inch deep. Make sense? Okay, so there's variable number one, how much sand we're taking. The more sand we take, the shorter the ball goes, right? More friction, right? Does that kind of make intuitive sense to you guys, right? The less sand we take, the farther it goes. Next variable. What's the next variable? Anybody know? Yes. Somebody paid attention last year. Excellent. Speed. Okay. Now, here's the tricky thing about speed. So just like, oh my God, I gotta hit the ground. This is weird. I don't do this normally. I actually do everything in my power not to do this, right? What are we all doing chipping? A lot of us have the habit of avoiding the ground, right? You guys all want to take care of our beautiful grass. I appreciate that, but we want to actually hit the grass, and we definitely want to hit our sand, okay? Speed. This is pretty obvious one. The faster we swing, the further it goes, right? The problem, I think, with the speed component that plagues all golfers is that the target is nearby. So let's just say I'm going to that first target, that first red noodle. That is, what, 15 yards away, maybe? Right? 20 yards away? If I was chipping, right, just like we were chipping, how hard would I have to hit it to get it to that shot? Right? Tiny little swing. Did you guys see how tiny that swing was? Now, if I apply what we just learned and hit the sand with that speed, what happened? Why is that? I hit it was the right speed just a second ago, right? Yeah, that was metal to ball contact, chipping, okay? Now we're including the sand. Do we have to swing harder or lighter?
Harder.
Way harder, okay? So I actually think it's about triple, okay? So if I have a bunker shot that's 15 yards away, I need to swing like it's 45 yards away, okay? Maybe even farther, honestly. honestly. Okay, so let me demonstrate that real quick. Okay, I'm gonna hit both of these balls with the same swing speed. Okay, same exact swing speed. You guys ready? Same swing speed.
More sand, less sand.
What was the difference?
More sand, less sand.
More sand, less sand. Exactly. Right? But it's hard for the brain because it's hard for me to swing that hard when the target's so close. Does that make sense? Okay, so we gotta get past that, and we have to gain a feel for what it's like to chunk it on the green. Right? It's actually the only shot that's similar is like deep rough, where you see their ball is deep in the rough, and you're like, there's no way I'm avoiding this grass. I'm gonna hit this grass. I have to jump my speed up because of all that interaction with the grass, right? It's gonna slow me down, slow the club down as it gets to the ball. The ball doesn't go as far, so we gotta ramp that speed up to make it accurate. Does that make sense? Okay, so we have two variables: how much sand we take and how fast we swing, how fast we move the sweet spot, right, through the sand. Okay, so what I want you guys to do now, because we're going to do this in partners again, is I want you guys to watch each other, and each swing I want you to diagnose what happened. Okay, so let's do that real quick. I want you guys to tell me what went wrong.
Not enough speed.
Not enough speed. Perfect sand though, right? I think sand was perfect. Okay, let me try to ramp the speed up a little bit. Right? Same amount of sand, higher speed.
Whoa.
Not enough sand. That was more just for fun because there's a net there. It was relatively safe.
Tell me about your feet.
Okay, sure. Yeah, any questions? I should have asked that. Okay, so first of all, just like chipping, what's our focus? Down here. We got to learn what's going on down here. Because again, let's see if I can do this better. If I have a crazy swing, it's pretty good. I can still, if I choose the right amount of sand, the right speed, I can still do it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, now your question was about the stance. I have an open stance, and it helps me to pop the ball up in the air. So when I'm in like really deep bunkers, it helps me to swing across my body with an open club face. Okay, this is getting very technical. I'm kind of trying to avoid this, to be honest, but it's a good question. It helps me to pop the ball up. So now we're getting kind of fancy, right? Does that answer your question? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now here's the thing, like just like I did that crazy swing, I could have a squared off stance, right? And if I pick the right amount of sand and the right club speed, I can hit a good shot. So really, I want us to focus down here. Then we can build all the bells and whistles. You know what I mean? Because my focus right now for you guys is the stock bunker shot, the one that gets out every time. It might not go right next to the hole, right? But until you get it out every time, you're not allowed to worry about what comes after that. Does that make sense? Carol, you had a question?
Weight on the floor.
Yes. Why is that? Great question. Do you know why that is?
Stabilizer?
Yeah. So how about this? Let's think about what impact it has on our ability to take. Oh yeah, sorry. Yes. So what impact does that have on where I strike the ground? Right? So we're talking about hitting the ground, right? So if I have my weight back, if I have my weight forward, not to get any sand on you guys, I have my weight a little bit more forward. See how it helps me to get down and through the ball? Whereas if I'm back here, I'm already asking for trouble. Does that make sense? If I'm back here, I actually...
Whoa!
I did that on
I've been a very good girl. I can't.
See, I told you not to do that. Right? You saw what happened. Right? I couldn't reach to get under that ball if I wanted to, so I sculled it. And sorry for the excitement. You like the excitement. Does that answer your question?
Absolutely.
So, how does it apply to what we're working on? Bingo.
In the chipping, you're talking about getting the hands further forward. Are they further forward in this as well?
Not as much because this is a full swing. So actually, that's a great question. I want you guys to think about this as a full swing. So chipping is small, so we can, and we're going to talk actually about this more this afternoon, what we do with this. And it's really shot specific. If I want to hit it high, I can chip it like that and I get more loft. If I want to hit it low, I can put the handle forward, diminish the loft, and hit it lower. But here, really, it's not this or that. It's neutral, and it's a full swing, right? You could practice all day just by hitting sand. Oh, I'm sorry. That darn wind. Does that make sense? And I want each one of these to look the same. And of course, I want them to be lined up, right? Yep. Correct. So if you're in a fairway bunker, you want exactly what I did there up against the net. I want nettle the ball because I'm trying to go far. Now, the issue in a fairway bunker is if you have a high lip, like I just ran into there, and I try to hit too aggressively, I hit like a 3-iron, and it buries into, that's not good. I have to pick the club that's going to get me over that lip, so that's the challenge of a fairway bunker. But also it's more of I would say it's more of a mental challenge. Like, oh my God, I'm in the sand. Oh no. I want you to, if you're in a fairway bunker, like let's say I'm aiming out that way, look at how, this would be an easy example of a fairway bunker. I could hit any club I want out of this. I could hit a driver out of this. I just want to think, oh, I'm on the sand, I'm on the grass. I'm on the grass. I get my feet in a little bit so that I don't slip. Some people slip in the sand, right? And then sometimes when you do that, people like to choke up just a little bit because as I sink into the ground, I want to even that up, shorten the club as I get closer. And then I just want to think I'm on the grass. It's almost like a mental block. But we want metal to ball contact. We want metal to sand to ball here because that actually helps the ball pop up in the air. That's why we do that. We could chip out. It's possible, but it comes out really low, and it's only going to work in 2 out of 10 bunkers. That's not good enough. We want to get the ball up, so we want to get used to hitting the sand, popping the ball up in the air.
And you would always use a full swing instead of chopping.
Yeah. Yeah, full swing. Because that's the thing I see most often. The biggest failure I see in bunkers is lack of swing speed. Lack of swing speed. It's, yes, you can make mistakes in the sand, taking too deep of a sand divot, right? Things like that, going too deep, hitting too little, sitting back here. But really, it's here's my 15-yard target. I just need to swing like this. Nope, that's only for chipping when you're hitting the ball with the metal, right? And you have that really clean shot off the metal. When you're hitting that sand, it's such a dull impact. You got to ramp that speed up, triple, quadruple what you're used to. Don't be shy. That's why I lined you guys up going this way. You can't break anything over there. I already tested it. Cool? Okay, so this is another one that's really important to be in your partners. Because again, when you can see it, I'm telling you, if you can see your partner having trouble or succeeding, you can see why. Sand, swing speed, figure it out. Also, I want you guys to draw a line and put your balls on it. When you're practicing, this is a great way to learn because then as we make divots, you can get some feedback. It's pretty obvious what happened there. You don't have to wonder. But some people could look down, if that line wasn't there, right? And you look down and go, oh, I did exactly what my pro told me. Wrong spot. Got it? We want it to be right in the middle. We want the ball right in the middle of your footprint. So if you draw that line, you'll have a reference point. Sound good? Okay, same thing, pair up, you'll see we got